I see all good people. That's all of us. I think most of mankind can be easily included in this thought, in this feeling. Good morning. And yet, there is so much miscommunication going on that we have the environment we're in today. Crazy with wars and stupidity, lacking common sense. But it's okay. It's the way it is. It's been going on for thousands of years. Same old, you know? Yet there is room for improvement, and number one. And number two, we have the capacity, the capabilities, and the tools to foster this. It's not beyond our reach. What we're practicing in the sense of mindful meditation, of self-awareness, is indicative of the capacity we have to create new habits, rituals, ways of interacting with ourselves, with each other. Be mindful also of this concept of talking to oneself. There is nothing wrong in talking with oneself. I remember as a little boy being told one should never talk to themselves. And yet we are always talking to ourselves. Constantly. We are making decisions. We are creating inklings and asking questions or giving answers. We are creating how we are going to proceed in this next moment of time and those thereafter, how we are going to flow, consciously, unconsciously. This is going on all the time. There's what I mean by the misconceptions of our society. Just another story. Of course, if you are doing this with a lack of abandon and creating all kinds of fantasies and visualizations, and I think there's some moderation that we need to consider. Yet, I think the way most of us have a conversation is healthy, looking to be helpful, constructive, to making better decisions. We are considering our different opportunities or potentials, our perspective. It is why, in mindful meditation, we want to be as wide and broad in our perspectives as possible. Breathing, sitting comfortably, pulsing, being in an environment where one can focus easily, feeling one's warmth, one's body's posture. Where are you? What are you doing? And feeling the texture of one's skin. And feeling the warmth emanating from one's skin. Breathing. We breathe 15 to 20,000 times a day. You all know that, I know. So around every 4, 5, 6 seconds, something, whatever. Breathing longer and more slowly, comfortably, peacefully, with a sense of calm being created. One's blood pressure, one's heartbeat slowing down. One's thoughts. Sometimes our thoughts are still racing, or they are still involved with other conversations and things of one's day. That's okay. As we continue, we'll help allow these different things to fade away, because we're going to be concentrating on different things. That's all. It's simple. Thinking about one's breath, as we said, doing this, please. Long and slow and purposefully. And when one has inhaled enough through preferably one's nostrils, then one pauses, allowing this oxygenated air in one's lungs to transform its carrying capacity of O2 to receiving CO2, carbon dioxide, to breathe out. And when we feel like breathing out again, having an exhalation, then doing so. And I know you're having many by the time I finish my conversation, so you have ample time to practice. Slow and long. And in consideration of our journey and practice and curiosity together today, on the bottom half of one's exhale, create the sensation of the sound of awe or om or whatever sound you like to utter beneath one's breath or just above the threshold or louder, whatever. The purpose being to feel the vibration being created in one's lungs, in one's chest, one's torso, and thereafter spreading everywhere. Feeling this energization, this reflection of what and whom you are. Homo sapien, DNA, over 3 billion years old, the DNA that we have. Please, doing this. This is our joy, our curiosity to do this, to smile, to create, to behold whom we are. Bundles of miracles. Humbled by our recognition of whom we are, and thankful for being able to recognize. Simple. Keeping it simple. We are all on the same roller coaster of life, finding opportunities to excel, to help ourselves grow, self-improvement, are wonderful ways of passing on our traditions, our generational contribution, evolution we're part of. Doing the best we can is what we're saying. And as one finishes their exhale, pausing again and being mindful of this clean air we've just been breathing, and where did it come from before it entered our nose. As we watch this air pass through our nostrils and into our nasal passages, being warmed and moisturized, homogenized, to make its way down the back of our throats into our windpipe, into our upper and then lower lobes, nestling our heart between our right and left lungs, with our diaphragm just beneath our lungs to push and, in a sense, pull as our heart squeezes and relaxes. It is with such a beauty, a rhythm, our lives, flowing rhythm of life. Thinking of life this way is helpful, changing, always moving about, oscillating, also a way to help oneself, because with this degree of flexibility, we are more adaptable, can entertain the suggestion to our greater being, to our egos, to our greater minds, that we can move, we can change, we can adapt, we can be flexible, helping us to accomplish these tasks and wanting to acquire a sense of virtuosity. So even when one finishes one's exhale, one could also self-affirm, I am strength, I am focus, I am kind, I am understanding, considerate, organized, disciplined. I am these virtues and more. What a great way to say hello. Bundles of miracles. How old did I say? Over 3 billion years? Well, your DNA. You and I know that this conglomeration of energy, flesh and bones, nerves and sinews and muscles, are that old actually, but in the composition of what we identify as ourselves. Short time, right? Not that long. So it's a reason to be humble just in this realization. One's life of 20 or 40 or 60 or 80 or 10 years or 100 years is not even a drop in the bucket. It's just a wisp passing by. We've been breathing with a sense of articulation, yes? And the other thoughts that one harbored are now dissipated and faded away. Good. And if not, then even more, begin to follow one's own pulsing. We spoke briefly about our heart. Pulsing. With a sense of awareness again. Patience. A sense of purpose. And as one practices and becomes more adept at this process, feeling in different locations or feeling one's whole body pulse or undulate with this heart-giving energy, the heart squeezing and pressing the blood through your vascular system. And this is everywhere, so it's being felt everywhere. You can feel the undulation as it flows. If one practices being sensitive to this, what do you know? You learn by practicing. You become more sensitive and capable by practicing. By repeating something, it becomes easier. And as you like, we can add in again something we spoke about a little while ago, the warmth emanating from our body. Clasping one's fingers to fingers, digits to digits, thumbs to thumbs, palms to palms, gently. And feeling the energy going back and forth, the heat. And feeling now beneath the heat. Feeling what? Feeling this energy emanating from your cells. Everything is vibrating. Each cell is vibrating. Why? Because they're alive. Feeling the tingling, the shimmering in one side. Your Majesty, please. Being here now, a bundle of miracles, thankful for life. A wake-up call. And doing this all day, as we need. When one begins to feel dis-ease, D-I-S-E-A-S-E, dis-ease, then we know what we need to accomplish. We need to return to a state of awareness, of remembering our state of minds, of whom and what, why, where, how, and when we are. The 5 W's and 1 H of Thomas Wilson, the rhetorician from 1560, who enumerated these 6 questions for any subject. Why am I diseased in this moment? Pause, breathe, pulse, shimmer, remember. This is a way. The music lingers for another minute. Please think about what we're talking about. Namaste.